Inside this video here, I'm going to break down exactly how corporate women ages 35 through 55 are losing 20 to 50 pounds in optimizing their hormones in only 6 months. Now, you may be wondering, who am I? My name's Ethan Gonzalez. I've worked with 100 plus different women of different ages, careers, lifestyles, and hormonal issues like PCOS, hyperthyroidism, hypothyroidism, adrenal fatigue, estrogen dominance, menopause, perimenopause, premenopause. No matter where you're at, you can be fixed of your symptoms. So this process works for anyone, okay? So I don't want anyone to think, oh, well, I'm stuck. It doesn't work for me. I'm different. We've worked with every single hormonal issue, so we can definitely help you. Now, we worked for Laura, who's an accounting manager who lost 30 plus pounds and fixed her postpartum hormones. She came to us having a son a couple months prior. She overall didn't feel like herself anymore. She added on a bunch of baby weight. She overall had these hormonal imbalances everywhere, and she was constantly feeling a little bit almost depressed. And so we helped her to lose 30 pounds within only 12 weeks, fix those hormonal issues, and she's kept the weight off ever since. Now, Chanda, she's a director and a consultant. She worked 60, 70, 80 hours a week. She lost 25 pounds and still became toned despite all of that. You can see in her waist how much weight she lost. You can see how much bloating she used to have. She doesn't have that anymore. You can see the definition in her arms as well. And overall, she feels happier, healthier, and in the best shape of her life. Now we have Natalie, who is a sales manager. She came to us at 320 pounds, eating 1,200 calories. Now, for a lot of you, you may think, oh, 1,200 calories, that's a lot, or 1,500, that's a lot. But what you need to realize is eat less, move more is not the answer when you're under eating for years. So for Natalie, what we went ahead and did is we bumped her calories up all the way up to 2,900, and she ended up losing 40 pounds while eating almost 3 times as much food every single day. She loved the food, she enjoyed it, and that's why her family was able to make such drastic improvements in their lives as well. Now, right now, there's probably 4 major symptoms that you're feeling. You're feeling those hormonal imbalances going through menopause, and you have this fatigue that just doesn't seem to go away. You're always bloated. You have stubborn weight gain around your midsection, around your arms, around your thighs. You just have a lot of mood swings. You're honestly up and down all the time. You have a slow metabolism. You've been skipping meals or under eating for 2, 5, 10, 20 years because you're so ingrained in just eat less, eat less, eat less, move more. And it's just going to slow down your metabolism, slow down your progress, because eating not enough food leads to hormonal imbalances, which leads to a slow metabolism, which also leads to a loss of muscle tone. If you're not eating properly, you're not going to build muscle. And then you're not going to have enough testosterone or sex hormones as you're going through menopause, so you're not going to be able to build muscle. So super important to make sure that we have your metabolism and your hormones fixed. Now, you also probably have a pretty busy schedule, I assume, and so it's really hard to find like a clear path that you need to follow when it comes down to how much should I work out, when should I work out, what exercises should I do. Those questions probably run around in your mind every single day. The last symptom is really limiting beliefs. So you may have motivation that's really low, and you've been putting yourself last for forever. You have mom guilt, you put your kids first, you put your spouse first, you put your family first, you put your family or your friends next, and then it's you at the bottom of the totem pole. You never take care of your health. You're always trying to provide for your family, and I don't want you to stop doing that. But if you keep letting things go and keep pushing things down the road, it's already gotten this bad. Why keep waiting longer and keep prolonging the effects? So let's go ahead, let's break down the 3R method and exactly how this works for the women that I've gone over with. Now, the first stage is reset. We want to focus on resetting the metabolism, the old habits, and the lifestyle, fixing any hormonal issues. This is the first piece. If we don't have a good foundation, then it's like trying to build a house on sand, right? A lot of you have probably tried diet, and they keep failing, and you keep going back to the same thing, and then it stops working because you haven't built the right foundation. Your metabolism isn't in the right spot. Your hormones aren't in the right spot, and you keep trying to diet and exercise your way to success. You're building your house on sand. Next, once we have that strong foundation, we can go into Reshape, which is making sure that we're losing fat, building more muscle, and then we want to focus on retaining afterwards to make sure that you have your dream body for the rest of your life. What the stage really looks like overall is a hormone and gut health assessment. We want to do detailed testing on those assessments and then give you personalized supplementation. So, Taking a look, this is the first piece, the hormone assessment. We give you this hormone form, and you can go ahead and fill everything out. So this looks over excess estrogen symptoms, insufficient estrogen symptoms, insufficient progesterone, insufficient testosterone or excess testosterone, insufficient testosterone, excess cortisol, insufficient cortisol, insufficient thyroid hormone. So we go over all these different things before we even get blood work done, because we want to know what do we even need tested, right? So we get this done. Then we do a gut health assessment. Super simple. We overall look if you have leaky gut, fat digestion, any infections or anything going on, because a lot of people come to us and they think they have a hormone issue, but it's actually a gut health issue. So when we fix these things, we resolve a lot of the bloating, constipation, diarrhea, make sure that you are feeling your absolute best every single day. Next, we really just want to get detailed testing done. So we'll get blood work that your doctors cannot order, your primary care cannot order. And if they were to order it, it would take you months to get the results. We can order Dutch testing, very specific tests for hormonal regulation, cortisol, dopamine, serotonin, norepinephrine. We can also order GI maps, which are basically for your gut health. If we have any gut health issues, we can order GI maps so we can understand exactly what we need to fix. Last piece really is just the supplementation. So we look at your blood work, we look at your overall gut health, your GI maps, your Dutch tests, and we supplement properly, okay? So we're not blanket supplementing. Here's all these supplements to take that you don't need. We properly supplement for each individual issue. So if you have high glucose, we give you the right supplementation. If you have high cholesterol, we give you the right supplementation. If you have high TPO antibodies, which is like an autoimmune, or you have inflammation, we go ahead and we do this, right? So no matter what it is, we have every single test on here. We can just input your data, give you the right supplementation specifically for you to make sure we solve the problem. Now, what this really looks like in nutrition-wise, a lot of you, like I've said, you're probably skipping meals, you're probably under-eating, eating under 1,500 calories a day. What we want to do is bring your calories slowly up by a little bit each and every single week. And as a result, we're resetting your metabolism to what your baseline should be, bringing your calories back up to where your maintenance is. And as a result of doing so, we're also fixing your hormones, we're reducing inflammation, so your weight is going to start to drop down. And we've had clients lose 5 pounds a week during the initial stages of this, just because of how much inflammation they've had inside of their body, and just overall fixing their metabolism, making sure that they can eat enough food each and every single day. For Amy, this looked like no more starving. She started with us. She was eating like 1,000 or less calories a day. We bumped her up to almost 2,400, so we 2.4 extra food. She was able to eat tacos every single day. So we make sure that the foods you're eating, you actually enjoy, you're actually going to stick to, because when you do a diet, how long are you going to stick to it? A couple months, a couple weeks, maybe a year? What happens after that? You fall off. We want it to be a lifestyle change for you. Now, stage 2 is Reshape. Really what we want is efficient workouts, less than an hour, enjoyable things that you actually enjoy. You don't have to do anything that you hate. You're not going to do any HIIT classes, crazy intense cardio. You're not going to do any crazy intense classes anymore. Like, those things are all out the window. We're doing things that only you want, because if you don't like it, you won't stick to it. And then we want it to be sustainable so that you can actually maintain it for the rest of your life. Very, very simple. What this looks like for Chanda, you saw in the beginning, she wanted a home gym plan. She didn't want to go to the gym. We made a home gym plan. So we had every single thing laid out for her. The progressive overload here. We had the sets, the reps, the RIR, the tempo, the rest. We also give you video exercises for each and every single exercise, so you know exactly what to do. It's like having like a mini personal trainer in your pocket, because you can always be like, oh, I've never done this exercise. Here's an exact video on how to do it. Then you just follow the exercise, or you can shoot us a video. We can always take a look at your form too. Again, have the sets, reps, rest, RIR, tempo, RP, intensity. Everything will be listed out for you. Last stage is retain. We just really want to give you the knowledge so you understand your nutrition, your fitness, your hormones, and lifestyle habits, so you can do this for the rest of your life. You're not dependent on ever being in this situation ever again. You're not dependent on a coach. You're not dependent on some random personal trainer at the gym. You are knowledgeable in this. We also just want to make sure that you have mindful habits when it comes down to eating, exercises, and stress management, so your hormones are properly balanced. And then we give you 24/7 support. So you have SMS communication 24/7. You have weekly one-on-one check-ins. You have weekly feedback reports via Loom, just like this video here. I'd be going over every single marker of yours. I'd be going over blood work with you. I'd be going over supplementation, workouts, mindset changes. Everything's filled out there. And then you have a monthly one-on-one call with me where we basically just go over everything together and make sure you're on the right track. And I can answer any questions at any time. You might be thinking, Ethan, this sounds awesome, but how am I going to fit this into my busy schedule? Now, here's how everything really looks in a process. It really only takes you less than 30 minutes per day to reach your goals. Week 0, we'd really just start with all the assessments: hormone gut health assessment, nutrition assessment, lifestyle assessment. We really want to see in the next 30 days you losing 2 to 5 pounds lost, you're overall feeling more energized, you have a little bit less hormonal symptoms, you feel a lot better every single day. By 60 days, we want you to lose 5 to 10 pounds. Your hormones and your metabolism are completely almost fixed at this point. By 90 days, we want you to be 10 to 15 pounds down. We want you to be able to fit into those old clothes that you used to wear by losing a lot of body fat, building a lot of muscle. And then we want you to have more energy and confidence wherever you go. Then we want to do a small assessment. We just want to take a look at where you're at right now. What changes do we need to make? Big changes. We're always going to be making changes weekly, but big changes wise, where are we at? Where do you want to go? Then we want to look at the reshape phase. So we're going to start adding in a lot more of the fat loss and muscle growth during this period here, the next 90 days. And over the next 90 days, we want to see a total of 20 to 30 pounds lost. You're feeling lean, you're feeling toned, and your energy and your hormones are completely fixed. We want you to be completely fixed, no more hormonal symptoms, have the right supplementation in place, and you're overall feeling like the best version of yourself. In the end, you're going to be able to retain your weight lost, and you're going to be healthier and happier than you ever have been. And again, this only takes max 30 minutes a day. If you don't have 30 minutes, just check your screen time. I guarantee you have it. Now, let's just compare the 3R method, what I've gone through so far, to the traditional way of losing weight. Now, the cost of taking action, the traditional way, really what this looks like is you need a personal trainer because you need to know how to exercise, right? And that's going to cost $100 per session. You're probably going to go at least minimum 3x per week, which is around 12 times per month, $1,200 per month, almost $14,500 per year. For a nutritionist, you're going to have to see them once a week because you need to be able to make changes weekly, or what are you going to do? You're going to change it monthly and you're going to see like minimal results? No, you need weekly changes at least. As a result of that, that's going to be around $400 per month or almost $5,000 for the year. If you want a life coach, somebody to have accountability with you every single week and a monthly call, that's going to cost you $120 per session, almost $500 per month, or almost $6K for the year. And then this is a really big one that we find with a lot of our clients. When they're going to functional medicine doctors, they're spending $300 just for the consult, twice a month, $600 per month, $7,200 per year. And that does not even include supplementation. That doesn't even include testing. All of these costs are just to visit the doctor, okay? Now, total, this would cost you almost $2,700 per month just for all these things that you would be getting with the 3R method. The cost per year would total up to $32,160. Now, for a lot of you, you've been doing nothing over the past couple of years. So it isn't just, the total cost of what it would be to do something today. It's the cost of what if you do nothing for the next couple of years as well. What this really looks like is obesity expenses. We can see obesity is almost $1,100 per month. We can see CVD expenses almost $1,600 per month typically. We can see life insurance costs go up by $50. We can see assisted living in the future be almost $3,000. And honestly, this is on the low end. Typically, assisted living can be up to $10,000, $12,000 if you have diabetes, if you have any other issues. So really what this looks like per month in the future for you, this could look like almost $6,000 a month of expenses on top of what you're already paying, plus an additional for the year would be almost $70,000. You also are likely to incur other costs along the way. You don't just get obese. You don't just have these assisted living charges. You also have things that happen along the way. So you may have prescription medications you have to take that aren't covered by your insurance, doctor visits, being hospitalized, special equipment, mobility aids. You might try other diet programs, supplementation. You may have to buy different pairs of clothes all the time. These are all costs that are going to come on in the future if nothing does change. And really, grand total, after adding up the initial right here, $32,160, plus the future of $68,136, your total is $100,000 a year basically to just live. That is what the future looks like for you. Now, I personally would argue that this transformation is priceless, right? This transformation is worth way more than anything because it's your life, and a car, a house, those things are great, but you can't live in those things. You can't enjoy those things if you don't feel happy and you don't feel healthy and you're always in the hospital. But the real question is, do you see it that way? Do you find that your health is worth something? Do you find that it's worth more than a fancy car or a nice bag or a house or nice things? Like, your health should be the most important thing in your life. If you feel like, hey, this is important to me, I do want to put my health first. Every single month, I work with a handful group of ambitious, career-driven women to both transform their health and their energy through the 3R method. We do this by optimizing your hormones and your metabolism so you can show up as your best self, not only physically, but relationally, with your family, and in your professional career as well. With my approach, you won't have to sacrifice your favorite foods. You won't have to spend hours inside the gym or miss out on family dinners. You can overall achieve your health and your career goals while enjoying a balanced and fulfilled lifestyle. So if that's you, if you've gone through this entire thing here, you like the 3R method, you want to learn a little bit more, click the button below, select a day and time that works for you, and book in your free one-on-one call with myself.